from the CBW Radio UK studios in Chelmsford, this is Off the Record with Big C and his trusty companions, Jazzy Geoff and Stinky Pete.
My trusty companions are here with me. Yes, this is Big C, and hi there. I almost looked like you had a driving glove on there, Geoff, but clearly not.
There's no holes in the back.
No. Oh, I thought you were going to stick your hand around the back and pull something out and go, is this your watch? But no, this is Big C. This is Off the Record, and welcome. Thanks for listening, watching live on whatever you're on, Facebook, Off the Record Facebook page, or on X, which I shall repost shortly when I see it in my notifications, and also on the YouTube channel, the Real CBW Productions YouTube channel. We're back again. Stinky Pete, Jazzy Geoff, yours truly, for episode 193 of Off the Record, Series 7, episode 23. What have we got today? What's been happening football-wise? We won at the weekend, Spurs, and we won yesterday.
Twice. And we won yesterday.
And we didn't let a goal in either game. What is this, a parallel universe?
It is a parallel universe, and finally Xavi Simons looks like a footballer that we thought we bought. So this is very good. I'm very happy about this.
Funnily enough, actually, I was saying I happened to do these things, like just before we scored our first goal, we had another corner. I think Porro took another corner over the far side, and I said to Sarah, I said, these corners have been rubbish. Everyone just goes straight to the goalkeeper. And they had up to that point. We need to try something different. The ball comes across, in the net it went. So I thank myself for that. It wasn't own goal, but we
all knew at the time that it was down to you.
Thanks a lot. But I didn't also think that Simons had one of his better games. But, you know, he got a penalty at the end, didn't he? Went to Romero.
And he also was man of the match.
He was man of the match, and he won the penalty, didn't he, as well? I don't know what they're arguing about with that, really, either penalty.
Did you see the arguments? Did you see the arguments with the Liverpool Inter game over there? That was the VAR 4 minutes.
Oh, for the penalty they got in the last couple of minutes.
No, for the disallowed goal in the first half. Absolutely farcical it was. Absolutely farcical.
What, an Inter goal was it, or Liverpool?
No, Liverpool scored. And then it was disallowed because there was a vague sniff of a handball about 3 players before the guy actually scored.
But let's be honest, ridiculous. Like, we don't need that amount of time, because if Liverpool score, it should be disallowed. Full stop.
Well, especially when we play them in a couple of weeks' time.
That's fair. Well, yeah, that's true. Well, yeah, a week and a half we're playing Liverpool, aren't we? That's our last game before Christmas, believe it or not.
20th, and then the
28th. Yeah, it's not until the 28th. Anyway, what can I say? What have we got to talk about tonight? An interesting one. I thought I'd throw this in at you just to...
Because we've got nothing better to do before Christmas.
Nothing better to do than worry. We have got to review... I wonder whether we'll all be having a number that are the same. I don't know. Songs from over the years that were inspired or have been inspired by real life tragedies. Now, you can't get more festive than that, can you? You know, Merry Christmas, everyone that's watching. It's a great topic to discuss just before Christmas. I know. I've never really been one to read the room, but, you know, what can you do? Have we got any thoughts before we get into any of the songs about this particular topic? There's quite a few, I think.
There was an awful lot according to the interweb.
There was an awful lot.
Most of which I'd never heard of, by bands that I'd never heard of. Right. So that kind of narrowed it down from about 1 million to 6 or 7. I struggle with this for a number of reasons. One, misunderstood the remit in the first place. Big mistake. Two, this is wholly dependent on lyrics, and although I pick up lyrics here and there, they're not a vital part of my life. So actually knowing what the song's about is kind of irrelevant to me. So I found this quite difficult.
You might even get it from the song title, I guess, if there's sort of a...
There is a clue in some of those.
Yeah, there you have it.
Yeah, there's a clue in some of mine as well. For me, there were some obvious ones. So when you said it, I wrote down 5 or 6, which was straight off the top of my head. And then I thought, okay, well, so define tragedy. You know, is a tragedy something which is a massive global event which everybody knows about? Or is it about an individual and something that happens to an individual? And I don't think it matters. What I'm saying is that, therefore, what we've chosen, or what I might have chosen as a definition of a tragedy, covers a whole panoply of different things, really. It could be an interesting one, but I think there's 4 or 5 which I'll be stunned if we don't all have, or at least 2 of us have.
Fair enough. What was that word you used there? A what? A
panoply.
A panoply. You'll have to explain exactly what that means.
Not to be confused with a canopy, which is what you put outside when it's raining, or a canapé, which is what you eat when you go to a Ponzi dinner party.
Or a Penelope.
Presumably a pan pipe, which is what the Chileans play.
Is it the Chileans? I think it's not. It's the Peruvians.
They both play it, and aren't they the same?
So was that everybody in South America plays a pan's pipe? Are they the same? Okay, let me give you a clue. Don't suggest that when you're at any South American football stadium, because you will die. So one needs to be careful about what one says in these circumstances.
So, what does panoply actually mean for those of us that aren't educated?
A great sweep of things, a range, a huge vista.
I'm sure you've done a Chuck Berry there. You just made up a word. It sort of worked out what it meant, really, didn't
okay.
we?
Look up panoply on the interweb.
Panoply, okay.
Yeah,
I'll save that. I'll save that for later.
Save it for later.
So yeah, in response to you did ask this actually when I first suggested the theme, what counts as a tragedy, but I think you've sort of covered it there. All I said was I don't think something like a personal, although maybe it would, a divorce, for example, wouldn't necessarily count. I mean, I was thinking like maybe The Winner Takes It All or something, which is a great song in my opinion, and maybe Jeff's, but not yours. Yep. But yeah, that was purely based on the personal tragedy, I guess, of their divorce.
Well,
but I think
it's a tragedy because it's an ABBA song, so it's clear.
Well, there you go. All right, well, coming on to that, I'm sure you've got some funny ones in here. I was thinking tragedy. Ooh, what about Steps' cover of Tragedy of the original, the real life tragedy?
That is a tragedy. That is an absolute tragedy.
That's
However, do not diss Faye, because she comes from Dunstable. I will not have a word said
of course not. Of course.
Steps.
I'm sure she speaks very highly of Stinky Pete as well,
Oh,
defending her honour.
No, I do.
But it's not great. I'm trying to think of any others. What about something like, I don't know, Blue is the Colour? I mean, it's a tragedy of a football club generally, isn't it? And Blue is the Colour. What an awful song that is.
That is a tragedy of a song. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's a good point you're making there.
Yes, we should have picked it, but there we go.
But we haven't. Never mind, eh? Never mind. You know what? I actually played that on the radio about 2 years ago. Someone requested it. He said Chelsea fan. And I thought, and my finger may have slipped in the middle of it. As it does occasionally. When we have a spoon, what we call a wooden spoon, the song, no. Don't like this.
Well, I tell you what,
Firestarter was today's.
Firestarter, what a load of old tosh that is. In fact, I'll tell you how bad Firestarter is. I messaged Colin and said I'd rather listen to the Sex Pistols. That's how bad Firestarter is. But also, yesterday was the wooden spoon of all wooden spoons, because that was that bleeding Italian Christmas donkey thing. That may be the worst. That may be the worst. That may be the worst thing ever recorded anywhere by anybody.
I'll tell you what,
shocking.
That's the bad news. The even worse news is it was requested by Nikki, and she texted me about 11 o'clock time saying, I haven't heard Dominic the Donkey. I said, I'll check back. And I said, no, I played it at 8:20. Got it on record. I played it at 8:20. Oh, I must have missed that. Maybe going to the loo or something. So I might have to put that in next week's Tinsel Tuesday. So you might have it on again.
Excellent.
Well, sadly, I'm going to miss most of Tuesday because Ralph and I are having our Christmas party.
You can't get enough donkey songs. You just can't.
No, I'm sorry. You can. The Little Donkey's bad enough, but that is just a tragedy.
I sang that at someone's wedding once.
What, that song? Dominic
Yeah.
Donkey?
What, for a bet?
No, Little Donkey.
Didn't you like
Little
them?
Donkey?
For whatever reason, the lady and the gentleman who were getting married sponsored the donkeys. They were obsessed with donkeys, and the song that they asked for during the signing their registers or something, I can't remember who it was now, was Little Donkey.
There should be laws against stuff like this.
I'm sure there's a joke in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Donkeys. But we're not going to go there. We're not going to go
slap
there.
a super injunction on it.
Oh, that sounds painful. So, yeah, let's get on with it then. So, obviously, I think we are going to have a number that are duplicated, but it doesn't really matter because we can just have a general chill.
I'll be surprised if you've got many of the ones that I've got.
Oh, really? I've got a few. Good. I'm sure that you won't have, but there are a few. There are a few that I'm certain that Stinks will have. Actually, a couple. But I've put them in anyway because they're worthy of a note.
We can talk about them when I've got them because I've almost certainly got them on the list. But anyway, that's fine.
Okay. All right. So, shall
you
I
go
start?
first, Cole? Yes, it's your show.
Okay. Well, one of the real life tragic events that occurred was in 1972. And I have two songs recorded about this event in Northern Ireland. And this will be Bloody Sunday.
And that is one of the ones I have also chosen.
Okay, so you've got Sunday Bloody Sunday by
I have got
U2.
Sunday Bloody Sunday. Yeah.
Okay, but I've also got, which was recorded earlier, Give Ireland Back to the Irish.
By Paul McCartney.
By Paul McCartney and Wings, which was, if I'm sure those watching and listening know what I'm talking about. This is when the British troops in Northern Ireland during the Troubles shot dead a number, I think it was 13 civil rights
it was 14.
40, someone died after, was it?
14 unarmed civil rights protesters who were massacred in Derry by the British troops on Bloody Sunday.
Bloody Sunday, yeah. And Macca wrote a song within 2 days. He'd written the song at Abbey Road, and they recorded it. It was the first song, ironically, to include Northern Ireland guitarist Henry McCulloch in the band.
Indeed.
Needless to say, it was banned by the BBC.
By the BBC. Yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah.
Nobody saw that coming.
Oh, no, you wouldn't expect it, would you, at all? Also overlooked by many American radio stations. I mean, McCartney was condemned, of course, as he often is in the media, for his seemingly pro IRA stance, I guess.
That's why it was ignored in America, because you had a significant number of people who supported the IRA in places like Boston and Chicago and places with big Italian communities, and New York. So
I get that.
Not a surprise.
It was his first political song, but the critics found that these lyrics, not for the first time, probably overly simplistic, and viewed the single as an attempt to gain credibility for his new band Wings. Actually, the funny story, of course, is he was overly political in that, got banned, went the other way for his next single, Mary Had a Little Lamb, the nursery rhyme, which was a top 10 hit for him. And then the next single later on had the drug references, etc., etc. Hi, hi, hi. And that was banned. So, he had the first of three. And I won't bother with Sunday Bloody Sunday. You've no doubt got something to say about it then, but it's also a marvellous, marvellous tune.
Yeah, I think it's a New Year's Day are the two standout songs from U2's early career. I think, we talked about them last week, pre Unforgettable Fire and then Joshua Tree. I think, those early ones. But I think what I didn't know, and because I did do a little bit of research for this, what I didn't know about Sunday Bloody Sunday was that the song was that it's actually not about the actual event, it's written from the perspective of the lyrics are written from the perspective of the horror felt by an observer of the troubles in Northern Ireland. So it's not specifically about Bloody Sunday. It's kind of references it because this observer is effectively looking through the lens of the song at the troubles in general, of which this is which I didn't really realise because, like Geoff, lyrics go in one ear out the other, and I kind of remember some and don't remember others. But I thought that was an interesting take on it. But it was an obvious choice because clearly it's so close to home for us and the age we are and growing up, through the troubles with everything. So it was an easy pick.
It was an easy pick, yeah. Okay. Right, Geoff, what have we got? Have you got one?
I didn't pick it.
Didn't pick it. You're not a U2 humongous fan, are you?
No, not a humongous fan. Big Paul McCartney fan, but to be blunt, didn't cross my mind to give Ireland back to the Irish with Paul McCartney. It wasn't in my range. So, okay, let's go. I think you might have this one, Collins, if that's okay. This is a 1976 song about a 1975 tragedy. Does that help?
Oh yes, I think it probably does. Okay. I think I might have got it.
Okay, so
is it a gentleman Canadian by any chance?
It is a gentle Canadian chappie.
Yeah. I definitely got this one then.
Okay, so this is Gordon Lightfoot and the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, which is about the story of a boat which ditched in Lake Superior at the end of a wild storm with the loss of all 29 crew. I like Gordon Lightfoot. I think he's got a lovely voice. He's got a very easy voice to listen to. It's not squeaky. It's a nice round voice. And this sort of song works for that because it's what I would call a proper old balladeer song. Yeah. It's almost like as a western a west folk song from England, but done obviously with a Canadian accent and on a Canadian story. The only problem with the song is it's too long.
It is long,
but by 3.5 minutes too long.
Yeah.
So it's 6.5 minutes, and it doesn't need to be. We have two songs in our house that if you play them, either of our boys go completely berserk. So James will not be in the same room as Grace by Jeff Buckley because he studied it at school and went, no, I can't listen to this ever again. And Michael will not be in the same room if you put the record of Edmund Fitzgerald for the same reason.
Okay.
Because obviously it's done to death during the study. And that's a shame because they're both good songs, But I think Gordon Lightfoot as a balladeer is up there with the best of them.
Yeah, I agree.
But I don't think he gets the recognition that he should. And I thought that this was a much older tragedy.
So did I. When I thought, Wreck of Edmund Fitzgerald, I know this, I like this. And and then I was reading about it like you, and I thought, blimey, it only happened in 1975.
It happened the year before he wrote it, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So it's a straightforward 5-chord song, and it works. It's just too long. But Gordon Lightfoot, I like Gordon Lightfoot.
He changed the words around, I was reading a little bit, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Because he wrote it before I suppose the full investigation had been done into the cause of it. So yeah, he has actually changed the lyrics around a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be the case with quite a lot of the ones that we talk about, where the artistic license comes in to make it something which is
definitely
based on, akin to, but not exactly the same.
Yeah, that happens a lot on some of mine as well. It's like it is inspired by this tragedy, but it's sort of got a metaphor that could be taken as some other story, some other event. And even Gordon Lightfoot said he thinks it's his finest piece of work.
Yeah, I don't agree with him. But
no, I don't either.
But he's allowed because he wrote it.
It did. I've just noticed you said about the length of the thing. I knew it was long. It's only 6.5 minutes. That's probably about 3 minutes short of what Stinks would like.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Well,
Well, that's because there's not a jam solo in the middle of it.
Hang on, hold that thought. Can I
No.
just say? I
Yeah.
don't know this song at all. I've never heard it.
Oh, right, okay.
Well,
So
you should.
Looks like you're going to be requesting it tomorrow, Jeff.
I like Gordon Lightfoot. I mean, I don't know much of his stuff. What I do know, I like. But I saw it was on the lists, and I thought, well, I have never heard of it, so
yeah,
there's no point.
okay.
Yeah, there's no point.
It wasn't a
choosing
hit over here, to be fair.
It's just about the only one when you said yesterday to me Tragedies
Yeah.
or whatever. I thought,
Immediately
okay,
came to mind.
it's the first one that came to my mind. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a big hit in the States, obviously, number 2 over
It
there.
was
but
number
not a
2,
hit.
yeah. Number
Not
1
a
in
hit.
Canada, clearly, because you know.
Obviously.
What else is there in Canada that gets number 1?
Not a lot.
Something to do with
Brian
reindeer,
Adams,
probably.
maybe. Yeah, Brian Adams and Joni Mitchell, maybe, or
Yeah.
Neil
Yeah.
Young. He's Canadian, isn't he?
He is, and Rush are Canadian, and so are
Backman Overdrive.
Backman Overdrive.
There's a lot of Canadians, actually.
Right.
There are.
Does that mean it's me? Oh, so Wreck of Edmonds Fitzgerald. I don't have to do that one. That's fine. Well, it seems a bit boring if I do. I've got another one. From Macca now. I'm going to give it. Might as well get him out of the way. Right. And I've got a number of songs that I could talk about, and I probably will do on one or two others as well. Inspired and were written in response to 9/11. I'm sure when I thought of Tragedies, first thing I thought wasn't Edmund Fitzgerald, to be perfectly honest. It was 9/11, and there are a number of songs. Now, it was released on the 5th of November 2001. I mean, it wasn't a massive hit. In fact, it was thrown away on the B-side of From a Lover to a Friend in the UK, which only got to number 45. It was only a number 97 hit in the States. But it was written in response to 9/11. Then McCartney was, whether you know, whether you've included this in any of your research, probably not actually. It might be one that neither of you got. But he was at New York. He was in New York in a plane on the tarmac at JFK when the attacks were going ahead, and parked on the tarmac. And he was inspired by this, as you would be. By September 2001, his album Driving Rain, which is a pretty, I was going to say average, it doesn't even make that to me, to be honest, an average album, had been completed. And he just added this on, basically. It was added on to subsequent, so late that it wasn't included on the sleeve of the album of some as well. Proceeds went to the families of the New York firemen. He was organising at the same time. The song is called Freedom, and it is a very simple song, which some of the best songs are, despite maybe what Stinks might think. He was organising the concert for New York City at the time, and he was inspired to write a new song for that, called it Freedom, and he played it at the concert live and with Eric Clapton on lead guitar. It was such a successful performance with Eric Clapton that they added the last track on. He added it as the last track on the album, and I might play it tomorrow if I get time. I don't know. I've got so many requests to get in tomorrow, but I'll try to. I mean, it's a very simple song. This is my right, a right given by God to live a real life, to live in freedom. I will fight for the right to live in freedom, basically. It's a real sing-along song, but a simple chanty song, Gotta have freedom, etc. That's it. Freedom. Paul McCartney. I don't think I've got any other McCartneys, so we'll be all right. Stinks.
Okay. I'm going to go with a story about a very big tragedy. It was written in 2015 from the album of the band in question. It was released in 2016, the album when it came out. or sorry, that it was released as a kind of single thing. But the problem is that it's 18 minutes and 1 second. So it's definitely not a short song. And the song in question is Empire of the Clouds by Iron Maiden. And it is from the album The Book of Souls, which I think is their best album. And
is that the tour we went to see?
I think it is. And I think that this is the best thing they've ever written. The longest song they did before this was The Rime of the Ancient Mariner, which is all right. But Empire of the Clouds is a genuinely brilliant piece of music. It's interesting because it's written by Bruce Dickinson, and it features his debut on piano. It's a good story. He won a keyboard in something and decided he'd teach himself to play the keyboard. So he's self-taught. And he wrote the kind of framework of Empire of the Clouds on the keyboard. And when they recorded it, he kind of had the idea. And then when they went into the studio and they were recording the album, he used the Steinway in the studio to write it. But on the actual recording, which if you listen to it, they use a keyboard, not a piano, because the recording engineers then found it much easier to edit out all of his mistakes. Which I just think is a brilliant story. Because basically he was a self-taught keyboard player who couldn't play the keyboards very well. But the song tells the story of the R101 airship crash in northern France on the 5th of October 1930 on its maiden voyage. And so the story of the Empire of the Clouds is this great kind of idea that this brilliant British airship was going to conquer everything, be the fastest airship and all the rest of it. And I think it caught fire on the stand in northern France and blew up and killed everybody. As you say, we went to see Iron Maiden. We went because we got free tickets from our friend. Would I pay good money to go and see Iron Maiden? Probably not. Did I enjoy the event? Yeah, I did, because I think they are very, very good live, and their stage show is very good. And of its sort, they're very good at what they do. Have I got any Iron Maiden albums? No. I've got 2 greatest hits albums, which I play occasionally. Would I buy The Book of Souls? Yeah, I probably will. Because for this track alone, it is worth owning. It's a really, really good piece of music. It's very clever. It's well written in spite of its provenance with the keyboard player. And it's a good story. Writing something about that, I just thought ticked absolutely all of the boxes. And obviously, at 18 minutes, it's the right kind of length for me to really get into the whole story.
But not
and
the right kind of length to request.
Well, I shan't be recording. I shan't be requesting it tomorrow. In fact, it's so long, it doesn't often get played on Planet Rock's special show called The Long Player.
Colin, what you need is for Pete to request it on the day you're taking Sarah to the station in the morning.
To the station.
Yes, that's true, actually.
Yeah, but then everyone
Stick
else
it
has
on
to
and
listen to it
go,
as well.
I'll be back. Hasta la vista.
I'll be back.
Oddly, I believe you have bought this album, because I believe you bought it for me. So I think I own it.
My word.
Really?
No,
I don't remember buying it for you.
I don't think I've ever played it, but I think you did buy it for me, which is very sweet.
If you tell me that I bought it for you, I'm sure I did.
I'm not telling you did. I'm telling you I think you did.
I'd be surprised if I did if I didn't own it myself. But anyway, well, whatever. The rest of it's not a bad Iron Maiden album. It's not, Run to the Hills and all the other sing-along rock songs. But this is a really, really good piece of music. A really good piece of music. As a piece of music.
Okie dokie. Well, I must admit, I thought there'd be some Zeppelin in the show from you today, but I wasn't expecting an R101, which presumably is a Zeppelin, is it
Hey,
not?
very good. See what you did there?
Yeah,
I did see
see?
what you did there. Yeah, well done.
Yeah. I'm not just a pretty face, you know.
It's a truism.
Moving on.
Swiftly.
Sir Geoff. Swiftly, yeah.
Okay. Speaking of albums that I don't play that I own, I have got a 4 CD set by this guy, which in effect is his greatest hits, although I don't think he ever had any greatest hits. I can play 4 or 5 at the most before I have to turn it off and play something else. Not because they're bad songs, but because the style of music that he is just grates in this day and age if you play it for too long. This song was recorded in 1945.
Oh my word.
It is one of his Labour songs, and it is about the death of the striking copper miners and their families in Calamute, Michigan on Christmas Eve 1913, when at a Christmas party they were in the Italian hall, all having a good time, and somebody wrongly shouted fire, and they all headed for the steps, and a stampede occurred, and 73 people, including 59 children, died.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Dark.
Yeah.
Is that not a tragedy?
I think that sounds like a tragedy.
Okay. This tune was used by Bob Dylan in one of his songs.
Probably maybe on his was it on his debut album, maybe, when he did a lot
No
of
idea. I can tell you what the song's called, but that would give you away who it is. This is called 1913 Massacre, is the song. And the Bob Dylan.
Probably,
Go on.
It's got to be Woody then, isn't it?
It has. It's Woody Guthrie. And
his hero.
And absolutely. And Dylan's song is Song for Woody. Song to Woody, actually. I like Woody Guthrie. I think the guy is an absolute genius, and he was so important to America, as was Pete Seeger, as was bugger me, I can't remember what his name is now. It'll come back to me. Tom Paxton. Tom Paxton. And I've got a bunch of albums by all 3 of them, but they are all, Tom Paxton's a little easy to listen to. They're all ones that you play and you go, I can't listen to this any longer, because it's all too intense. Huh?
Is it a bit depressing?
It's a bit depressing. It's a bit intense. It's a bit. Woody Guthrie, particularly like early Dylan, it doesn't play in time. It's all a little staccato. It just fits words and chords together whenever they suit each other, you know. But undoubtedly, like a man of astonishing talent, but also astonishing ethos in himself, you know. So it's worth a listen, and I might choose it tomorrow because it won't be very long.
No. You can have that one, but we're not having Iron Maiden.
No, quite. So 1913.
If you keep on saying this, you know I'm going to ask for it, don't you?
No, my finger might slip. I tell you what, I could do. I could put it on just before 8 o'clock or something. No, but that's like from 20 to 8 up to 8.
That's right. Yeah, just keep it running. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, just keep it running. Yeah, sorry, Geoff. Any more?
No, I'm good.
That's it. 1913 Massacre.
1913 Massacre.
So come back to me again. Well, surely, to goodness, one or both of you would have had this one down, which was released in October 1971. No,
I've got nothing from 71.
I've got one thing from 1971, but I thought it was released in December. So
in December 71.
But anyway, what you got?
I got it released in October 71. It was a
But
number
we
one.
might be talking about something completely different. So,
Right, American Pie.
I don't have that. So,
Really?
I don't have it because I don't believe it's what about people think it's about.
Really?
So
Is
they
that what
all
you
think
think,
it's
or is that
about Buddy Holly's whatever.
Well, it kind of is inspired by that. I mean,
Okay.
he was a newspaper. He was delivering newspapers when he was 13 years old, and he ripped it all off. And he saw the headline, and that's what inspired the song. And he talks about in the verses as well, not only Buddy Holly but the Big Bopper and Richie Valens. And it became a popular nickname for the Crash, of course, the day the music died, and it happened in February. February made me shiver with every paper I'd deliver.
I deliver bad news
Yeah.
on
I
the
deliver
doorstep.
bad news. Yes, you
Yes.
can't stop it. With every paper, I deliver bad news.
Rekord World described it as a monumental accomplishment of lyric writing.
Yeah,
Do you want to know something about American Pie?
Go on. It's long.
It is long. It's superb. It's an absolutely superb song.
Yeah.
Every single verse has a different bass line.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Have you played it?
Yes, but only one of the verses.
Right,
So
you get
I play
somebody
the
else
same
to go.
bass line to each verse.
Right. Okay.
But so I play the first verse bass line to everything, but they've all got a different bass line.
No, that I did not know, but then I probably wouldn't.
And I
You
didn't, and
would.
nor would I. So,
No, okay. Well, he would because he does. Right. So American Pie, I've put it in there. It may or may not be about, but that's the theme of it, isn't it? That inspired the song. But it might be one of these like metaphors again that is actually about something else.
And let's be perfectly honest, it's a fantastic song, so why shouldn't it be in there anyway?
Good.
Indeed.
Right. Stinks.
Okay, well, I'm sure that one or other of you's got this on the list. This is a song released in 1970. It is
I think I know where this
Ohio
is going. Yeah.
by Neil Young.
I was going to give you that. That's on my list here as well. It was one that I thought, you definitely.
It's what by Neil Young?
Ohio.
Okay, no, I haven't got
So sorry, it's sorry. When I say by Neil Young, it's a Neil Young song, but it's actually recorded by CSN and Y.
Yeah.
And it's about the Kent State shootings on the 4th of May 1970, the day after my 13th birthday. It's an anti-Vietnam. Well, sorry. The Kent State shootings were the shootings by state troopers, Ohio state troopers, of students protesting at Kent State University. 4 people were killed, 9 were wounded. And they were protesting about the Vietnam War, about the draft. And it became, as a result of the fact that it was CSN and Y, it became the anti-Vietnam War movement anthem. So it then became, I think, for them it was, I think I talked about this protest song as well. I think for them it was kind of like their political protest song. I mean, Neil Young's done a lot, but for them, and it was just adopted and became, very much a standard in the anti-Vietnam War movement. So that had to be in there. It's a great song, and it's really short. So
short. It's a standalone single, wasn't it? I think it was on an album. Maybe they had it on a live album later on, did they?
I don't think it was on an album. I think it was. You're right. It was a standalone single that they released because of the Kent State shooting. It's recorded. It's played by them, recorded by them, and I think they do play it, or they did play it live. In fact, I think Neil Young played it live when Nick and I went to see him up at the NIA in Birmingham in kind of like 2012 or 2013 or something. But it's a great song and very simple, angry, classic Neil Young, really.
Quite loud, isn't it, as well? It's quite like real loud in your face guitars, isn't it? You think? Maybe not. Maybe not.
It's one of his more janglier songs, isn't it?
It is jangly. It's kind of almost. It's one of those songs where if you would kind of think Birds and the Dave Crosby connection rather than the kind of Steve Stills and Graham Nash sound. So yeah,
I know.
interesting.
Talking of Stephen Stills, did notice that they recorded it really quickly. He recorded it live in the studio in just a few takes after they. He saw Neil Young saw the photos in Life magazine. I was reading.
Yeah, he saw the photos, wrote the song, and they recorded it. Boom,
And they
job
recorded
done.
it, yeah. But at the same session, they recorded the B-side, Stephen Stills song. Do you know that one? For the cost of, sorry, Find the Cost of Freedom.
I do.
Which
Yeah, I
is
know the song, but
his ode to the war's dead. So that was on that as well. Right. Okay.
Is it me?
It is you.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, let's come up to date, shall we? As far as up to date as I'll ever get.
Oh, I won't have this one then.
Huh?
I won't have this one then.
Oh,
probably.
you might have. You never know. This is
Really?
2013.
Don't think I have.
Okay. UK number 2. Billboard number 5. Brit nomination for Best Single of the Year. Lyrically, I don't know how to describe what this style of music is, but modern pop maybe. I don't know. Lyrically, it is a pretend conversation between two victims of the Mount Vesuvius eruption who are stuck in the death pose for hundreds of years, and they're just talking in their minds about what's happened.
Okay, well, the Vesuvius might be a clue. I'm thinking it's Bastille.
It is.
And it's Pompeii.
It is.
No, I wouldn't even have thought about that. Good shout.
No,
I wouldn't know what it's about.
I'd never heard of Bastille till you played them yesterday.
Yeah, I didn't like that. That was a
you didn't
poor
like Merry
version.
Christmas, everybody, wasn't it? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, very poor version.
You tell it's them though. His voice is quite
distinct. Yeah. The album that Bastille's on, which I've got, is fabulous.
I'm joking. I have got a Bastille track on a kind of driving thing.
It's probably this one.
It probably is. There's some really good songs on it, and it's a good album. But Pompeii is a great song. And I thought, yeah, that's fairly tragic. I could include that.
Yeah, no, that's.
I quite like the concept that it's a conversation between two dead people, as it were. You know, that they're just like there and stuck. So there we go.
Okay, yeah, it's distinctive way of singing, but he's talking about "Close Your Eyes," isn't he? But if you close your eyes, yeah. Okay, that's an interesting one, as Stinks maybe had just said as well. I hadn't even entertained the thought of Pompeii. Now, why didn't he?
You see, this is what's interesting. This is what's interesting about a topic like this, because we've all come at this from quite different angles.
Different places,
yeah, but that makes it interesting. Yeah, cool.
I was going to go and see the film of Pompeii, but they spoiled at the end by telling me what happened.
Yeah,
right, okay. Rebecca and I think it was Rebecca and I, it might have been Kizzy and I, went to see Pompeii for my birthday.
Right.
It was shocking. We sat and laughed and laughed and laughed, and there was other people in the cinema looking at us, and it was just one of those things where something sets you off and you're going, oh, that's bloody ridiculous. And then we just started corpsing, and it was so bad. It was terrible.
These people that noticed you were probably thinking, is that Stinky Pete laughing?
This was before.
Have we entered a parallel universe?
No, this was before we became famous, Cole. This was way before we became famous.
Okay, before we were on the BBC.
Before we were on the BBC, yeah.
Okay, Pompeii. Right, is it me again now then?
Wheel out another McCartney.
No, it's not another McCartney. I've thrown an American Pie in there as well that nobody wanted in their list anyway for various reasons.
Oh, I deliberately didn't choose it because I thought everyone else would.
And I didn't think about it, so...
Yeah. Right, I've got a couple of sort of personal tragedies, these ones are actually. It's the first one, which many people... It came out in 72. Was a number 5 hit in the States. UK number 32. A great songwriter, singer-songwriter. who maybe undervalued, but I think he was a very good songwriter, and I absolutely adore this song. It's been covered. It only got, as I said, number 32 here, but it has got to number 1 twice by 2 other artists in the UK. One in the 70s, a sort of reggae version of the song. And I think Boy George did a similarly sort of, well, I don't know, he's really commenting on Boy George, so I'm not that keen on his version of it. It's from if I say the album, it's from the Baby I'ma Want You album anyway. That probably gives it away.
That's David Gates.
Singer-songwriter is
Right,
David
yeah,
Gates.
Bread,
Yeah,
David
and
Gates
the
and
band
Bread,
is
yeah.
Bread. So the song
Yeah,
I've chosen is Everything I Own, which
Oh,
everybody may interpret
beautiful song.
about a broken relationship. I think everyone kind of does, but David Gates wrote in his he wrote it in he said he wrote it in memory of his dad who passed a few years before he achieved his success with the band, and he knew his dad would have loved to have seen him succeed. He would have been so proud of him. I mean, the lyrics, when you listen to it, you sheltered me from harm, kept me warm, you gave your life to me, set me free. The title itself, Everything I Own, David Gates sent his mum, I'm reading, or I read, he sent his mum an orchid for her birthday at a time when he really couldn't afford it. He could barely afford it. And his dad told him that she was so touched by it. And his dad wrote to him to tell him that he could have had anything she owned in return. Which was, as usual with him, actually, the lyrics were written after the music. But Everything I Own is such a marvelous tune.
It's beautiful.
Someone passing, say what you got to say, otherwise it'll be too late. You missed your chance.
In fairness, I'm struggling to think of a Bread tune that isn't a marvellous tune. He's just a really, really good songwriter.
Yeah, it's got some great songs.
Both lyrically and musically. He's just very, very good.
I just wish other people wouldn't record his songs at times. I think of that one example, Boy George. But Telly Savalas' version of If wasn't an absolute classic, was it?
No, it wasn't.
But he talked his way through it. The picture paints 1,000 words. Who loves you, baby? That one.
I saw them live.
Oh, well done.
Oh, Bread.
Yeah, in Manchester.
See, now I am jealous.
I saw them live in Manchester with my housemate, Mr. Kaplan. Yes, I did.
Apologies for getting another Crumbs gag in for Bread, but
yes, well done. Yeah, very good. Use your loaf.
Oh yes. Oh, I'll tell you what. There's a question in the quiz the other night on Monday about it's a little mascot or something that was on the side of a bread packet. It was a little man with a bowler hat on. Do you remember?
Yeah, Home Pride.
Yeah, okay.
It was.
I
got Home Pride.
I
had McDougal's in my head for some reason, but I ended up saying Home Pride, and we were right. Got it right.
Yeah.
Also, one other random question for you. I know any of you Trekkies? You're not. I know, Stinks, are you?
Don't mind a bit of trekking.
I did watch a Star Trek. I did watch a Star Trek movie the other night, actually.
On the Starship Enterprise and other ones as well. Which 3 letters appears before the word Enterprise?
USS.
Wrong.
Really?
Yes, because that's exactly what I said. Do you know what it is, Stinks?
No, because I would have said USS.
It's actually NCC. And I can picture it, NCC and the number. Everyone was shouting that out to me. You remember it, NCC, yeah? That's the sort of question we get.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and we got that one right. Unlike all the music questions this week, which is modern chart music was there.
Yeah, no such thing.
2. We got 2 out of 10. Right.
I went to a pub quiz many, many years ago where one of the tiebreaker questions was how many inches from the Earth to the Moon?
I hope they gave you to the nearest 10.
I would just like to say that the team that won were from the nuclear research place at Aldermaston. I suspect they probably knew more about this than we did.
Could you not have won with a lot?
We did absolutely ace. We did ace the music round, but anyway.
Yeah. If it's one of these nearest two, if someone said a lot, then all you got to say is, well, no.
A lot plus one.
A lot more. A lot more. Or
a lot more.
A lot less. A lot less. It doesn't really matter, does it, really? Do you remember what the answer was for our next quiz, maybe? I think maybe you should come to our quiz. Maybe you should come to our quiz one day. It's a bit of a trip, though.
Maybe.
In Colchester.
It's a very long trip to Colchester just for a quiz.
Right. So it's you.
Okay, is it me?
Yeah, it's you.
Right. Okay. So this is a 1980 single by a new wave of British heavy metal band who are very, very big on writing songs about historical events or kind of nostalgic looks back to the past. Okay. And the song in question is Dallas 1 p.m. and the band in question is Saxon. And it's my favorite song of theirs. It's really interesting. The news of Kennedy's assassination in 1963 was, most Americans found out about it by listening to Walter Cronkite, who was like the demigod of TV news journalism in the States right through when we were kids, and I think into the 80s, whatever. And the announcement was President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. CST, Central Standard Time. Mm-hmm. And Biff Byford remembers as a 12-year-old watching this on TV and then learning about it in history at school. And on his first trip to the US with the band, he decided to write the song about the Dallas 1 p.m. shooting. And the interesting little historical tidbit in it is that there's a big debate, and like all the conspiracy theories and all the nonsense, there's a big debate about how many shots there were that killed Kennedy. But in the song, he goes with 3, which is kind of most people think it was 3 shots. So the song, there's 3 gunshots, boom, 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 kind of just at the point where they build up to the actual assassination bit. It's not my kind of music really, normally, but I have a sneaking admiration for Saxon because they do another song which is called, I think, The Princess of the Night, which is about the steam post trains, and also Strangers in the Night, 747 Strangers in the Night. They write those kinds of songs, and I just think lyrically they're good. Biff Byford is a really good songwriter. You might not like that style particularly, but it's not thrashy. I mean, they're sing-along tunes, but just with crunchy guitars. They're like Black Sabbath, only the new version of. But this is their best song. I really like it. It's a good piece of work, and it's 5 minutes. It's not long. It's a story song.
When you said about 1980, I don't know why, because I think that's a little bit later than what I was thinking this song was, but I was thinking of maybe a similar kind of band. Who did the Lights Out one?
UFO.
It's UFO.
Oh, no. Lights Out.
Flying.
No. That's just that's 747 Strangers in the.
Is that one? Is it? That? I thought it's when the lights go out on the power cut, and they were flying in the dark.
It's 2 separate songs. 747 coming out at night. Anyway, yeah, the original, the one about Put the Ground Lights On, that's the Joni Mitchell song, which is then done by someone else, but I can't remember. Is it Scorpions?
Lights Out UFO. It was Lights Out was UFO.
Right, no, that's Lights Out for London. That's nothing to do with that.
That's a completely different song.
That's a completely different song.
Okay, I'm with
Lights
you.
Out for London is their signature song that they do on that Strangers in the Night live album. That's where you've got it from, because the live album's called Strangers in the Night.
Okay, but the song I'm thinking of was one where they're flying in
put the ground
New
lights
York
on
or whatever it is.
Right,
and all the
do the
lights
next
go.
song. Do the next
And
song, and I'll tell you.
It's Geoff next. So Geoff, what you got?
Okay. I love this story. Okay, it's a really good song. You'll both know it. I love this story because it's called one thing, but it's actually about a completely different thing.
Interesting.
And this is the artistic license we were talking about.
Mm.
So if you listen to the lyrics of this song, they talk about Mr. Jones this and Mr. Jones that and Mr. Jones the other. Okay, and it's called the New York mining disaster 1941.
Ah, right. I'm with you with this. I didn't include it. Yeah, go on.
Which is the Bee Gees, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's actually about Aberfan.
Yes.
But
I saw this and I thought, shall I include it? I thought no, because it wasn't a real disaster. But obviously, it's based on.
Well, they both are. So there was actually a New York, a small mining incident in New York in 1937, which, whatever the little fella was that was part of the Bee Gees, that was the one who died first, who was married to Lulu.
Morris.
Thank you. He didn't like the idea of calling it Aberfan because it wasn't cool. But New York sounded more cool, so they called it New York. I called it 1941, although it was actually in 1939.
That's pretty close.
So all of that aside, it's actually about the Aberfan disaster, which is why it's Mr. Jones this and Mr. Jones that. Have you seen my wife, Mr. Jones? It's very Beatles-esque to the point where everybody, when it was first played, thought it was the Beatles.
It was the Beatles,
yeah. But it wasn't. It was their debut single in the States, and it's a Beatles song to all intent and purpose.
I think it was their first single here as well, wasn't it? I think it was their first hit here. I think it was their first hit here.
It was their first hit here, but not their first single.
Oh, right, okay.
So, 1967, the Aberfan disaster was 1966.
It was.
Cool. Okay.
I remember it well. I remember seeing it on the TV. I remember the news.
I don't remember it well because I was like, but I do remember seeing it, and I still remember seeing the slurry mounds.
Yeah.
The lack thereof.
Yeah, indeed. Just to clear up the previous conversation we were having, and because so 747 Strangers in the Night is the Saxon song, which is the Saxon version of the Joni Mitchell song. The other one I was thinking of was This Flight Tonight, which is Nazareth, which is the other one about.
That's Joni Mitchell. That's Joni Mitchell, isn't it?
Well, I've got no idea, but This Flight Tonight is. Oh, yes, that is also. So Joni Mitchell had an obsession with writing about plane things. So yes, that is also. That's what confused me. Yes, so that is also a Joni Mitchell song. So This Flight Tonight is the Nazareth thing, and the other one is. Okay. Anyway, moving on. So, right, what you got?
Me, let's whiz through some of these, then I'll be quicker.
We've got 45 minutes yet.
Yeah, I know. We're not even halfway through yet, are we? The other personal tragedy I've got, which you may or may not have, from '92.
Yes, I've got this on my list.
Okay, Tears in Heaven, Eric Clapton.
Tears in Heaven, yeah, Eric Clapton.
Sadly, number 5 single here, number 2 in the States. Still his biggest selling single in the US. Gold in the UK, platinum over there. Correct me if I'm wrong with any of these things, Instincts, from your research. Was included in the soundtrack for the film Rush in 1991. But he was inspired, obviously, his son, 4-year-old son, Connor, perished.
When did you say Rush was?
Rush was in 91. He wrote the song in 91 as well.
Is there 2 films called Rush? Because I thought Rush was the song about the Formula One.
Must be another one.
Right.
Not sure which film this was, but I remember having the single, and it had Rush from the film soundtrack Rush on it. He also included on the Unplugged album, of course. Connor, his son, 4-year-old, died after falling from the 53rd floor window of a New York City apartment.
That is a very long way down.
That is a long way to go. That's more than the World Trade Center, isn't it? Sorry,
It's
that's less
500.
than the World Trade
It's
Center.
about 530 feet.
It's quite a lot.
Yeah,
So
you
after a
don't
bit of
want to.
isolation, he wrote it with Will Jennings. Do you know Will Jennings? He did a lot of work with Steve Winwood, apparently. He'd admired him from that work. Eric Clapton actually wrote the first verse, but lyrically, but he asked Will Jennings to actually write the rest of it. Although he said to Eric Clapton, "Look, it's such a personal song. You should write it all." But
Well, it's
he gave
interesting.
in the end. He gave in
Yeah,
the
it's
end. So
interesting
Tears in Heaven.
because Clapton says, when I was reading around about it, because I like the song. It's overplayed, so it's one of those ones where you go, "Oh, it's this one again." It's kind of almost become the signature tune, and because it's such a sad story, you kind of go, "Well, why? You know, what? How did that end up being? You know, the song that not our generation, but the more modern generation. That's what they know Clapton for." But it's interesting because he said, like I think this might have been in his biography, which I've got. He says it was a vehicle for my grief. So, in other words, writing it was cathartic. It was that way of getting the grief out by writing the song and the memory. So
I think that applies to some of the others as well. They might have shortly as well. But that's me done for Tears in Heaven, Eric Clapton. So we are at the use things.
Right, I've taken a big slab of something here. I am, yes, cheese. It's a stinky song. No, I'm going with a 2013 suite of 5 songs comprising what is called the High Woods Suite. And it is from Fish's Feast of Consequences album, which, as you know, I love to bits. It's a really interesting story. If you read what I've got, the kind of the Rolls-Royce version of the thing with the full book with all the illustrations and the story and a DVD about the making of the album. I Fish is just such a really interesting character, such an intense character. But the Highwood Suite is basically about the 8,000 men who disappeared in 6 acres of woodland over a few months in Arras and have never been found. And what's interesting is that when he was doing his research, he discovered that both his maternal grandfather and his paternal grandfather were at Arras and were involved in the like the trench building, etc., and in the fighting. So the 5 songs are Highwood, Crucifix Corner, which is heartbreaking, The Gathering, Thistle Alley, and Thistle Alley is really interesting because Thistle Alley was a trench network that his maternal grandfather had actually helped to dig, and then this song called The Leaving. And you take the 5 songs together, and they are 5 separate songs. You know, there's an end and a beginning of the next one, but you take the 5 of them together, and they make the story of these 8,000 men who disappeared in the High Wood. And it's really when he's writing about it in the book that's with the album, he talks about how he was. The reason this came to pass was because he was touring in Belgium and northern France, and they decided to go to Arras because he knew there was some family connection, and that's what sparked his interest in the whole thing. But when he'd rung his mum and found, or spoken to somebody and found out about this thing about the High Wood, and then just by quote unquote coincidence, they were driving down this road to go somewhere else and realised that they were driving past the High Wood and realising that there were these 8,000 souls there that had never been found, you know, that died on this 6 acres. So it's a really personal work. It's an absolutely fantastic album. There's one track which I don't like as much. All of the rest of it is just beautiful. But this is well worth a listen. And the artwork that that goes with it, and in the DVD that goes with it, they interview the artist, and the artist talks about the creative process of creating the arts to go with the music. It's really, really interesting, and I would recommend to anybody who has got a soul to listen to the music and the words.
Make us feel so guilty.
It's just no. The words are beautiful, and the music is really sensitive, and it's just a really, really poignant personal history tied into this tragedy of 8,000 souls that just went. And we all know that Arras was, awful. And I've been to Arras, to the battlefields, and you just walk around there and you go, why? Anyway,
but at least they're all separate songs anyway. So I was getting
it's 5.
It sounds like they might be about 25 minutes, 30 minutes longer than Iron Maiden.
It's 5 separate songs.
Okay.
I know you think I'm a Philistine, Pete. I know you do, and I know that I had. I don't know if I had this album on my iTunes for years, and I ditched it because I didn't like it. It didn't do anything for me. So I'm really sorry about that.
No, you don't have to be sorry.
I'm kind of feeling a bit guilty in case you think I haven't got a soul.
It is my absolutely favourite album of Fish solo stuff. His latest one, Weltschmerz, is which is his final album because he's retired now. But there's a beautiful song on that about Alzheimer's. So he writes. He's just a really sensitive guy, and he writes this really sensitive stuff. But he also writes this angry stuff. So the actual song "Feast of Consequences" is pretty brutal. But I just think he's brilliant. He's a genius.
Just looked it up here. Anyway, about 5 or 6 minutes. Some of them, aren't they? Mostly, I would have thought.
They're 5 or 6 minute songs. But they're
noticed not. Also, but it says all songs written by, and this sounds. It's written by Dick Vance's Bolt. It sounds like an arrestable offence to me, to be honest. Dick Vance's Bolt.
Yes, well, right. It's Fish's name is Dick, so
I know. I jest. I did it for comic effect. Not sure whether it worked.
No, it
Jeff,
worked perfectly.
What have you got, Mr. Soulless over there?
Another little bit of artist. My soulless person. Another bit of artistic license. Over an 8-day period in 1958. Charles Starkweather and his girlfriend murdered 11 people because they wanted some fun. As you do.
Sounds reasonable. Yeah. I mean, I can think of 11 people I'd quite like to murder. Most of them are in the American administration. Oh, damn, now I can't go.
Plus 4 in the suspense.
So, this is 1982. It's Nebraska. It's Bruce Springsteen. It's the song Nebraska, which is the name of the album. Look, we've had this conversation before, and I can't remember where it was or when we had it.
I remember you saying it's just you give up with it. It's a bit dreary.
It's one song at a time. You go, that's brilliant. And Nebraska is the best song on the album. I think. There's just it just grinds my soul too far when you play too many of them together. But it's very stark. It's very hollow. It's this whole dark side of Springsteen's thought processes. But because it was a demo album, in theory, you just got him and a harmonica, and that kind of works. It's brilliant, and it shows his ability. But I don't want to listen to 12 tracks the same.
No,
but that's the album
we're
talking about the song, and Nebraska itself. It's a lovely song. It's a good
one at
song.
a time. Yeah, I'm with you on that. One at a time. I would listen to it. Nebraska. Oh, it's me. It's me again.
It's you.
I must keep up. All right. This one is another beautiful song and another 9/11 reference song. I played it a few times on my show, actually, because I love it. It is. You know what it is?
Well, it's the bloke that you got blocked by on Twitter, isn't it?
No, it's
Oh,
not.
no.
No.
You've upset me now.
No, it's Mary Chapin Carpenter.
Oh, okay.
She's brilliant.
She's
and
wonderful.
it was on her album Between Here and Gone, in April 2004. She wrote the song after hearing on a radio interview, I think it was, an iron worker who was one of the first on the scene after the attacks on the World Trade Center, and she was saying that he felt like that Ground Zero was like a holy place in the first few days. So when his shifts were over, she was saying, he felt compelled to help the lost souls. So he'd find himself at Grand Central Station, which is the name of the song, by the way, standing on the platform and figuring whoever wanted to go home could just catch the train home. And I think it's a beautiful song, beautiful lyrics as well. I mean, I'm trying to read some of my writing and some of the lyrics. Heading uptown now, I got my lunchbox, got my hard hat in hand. I ain't no hero, mister, just a working man. And all these voices keep on asking me to take them to Grand Central Station. And all the sort of the bits and bobs you see, statues and things in the station are mentioned. So and now Hercules is staring down at me, next to him Minerva and Mercury. I nod to them and start my crawl. Flyers covering every wall, faces of the missing, all I see. So the song is Grand Central Station. It's Mary Chapin Carpenter, and I will be playing it tomorrow because I can. So there.
Sounds like a great choice. Excellent.
Right.
Okay, c'est moi. Okay. This is a song by my favourite grunge band. It
bothers me you've got one. Carry on.
It's from 1991. It is Pearl Jam.
Okay.
And the song is Jeremy.
Yeah.
And Jeremy is it's a dark subject. It's based on the true story of Jeremy Wade Dell, who committed suicide in his classroom in 1991 in front of all of his class. And he did it by putting a gun in his mouth and blowing the top of his head off. Wow. And which would have made a mess of the chalkboard.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
You chose this, Carl.
I know. Yes. My bad.
I really like Pearl Jam, and I think that 10 is one of the great albums of the 90s. Now, all right, it's a low bar, but it was it's one of the standout albums of the 90s. It's not the sort of thing you're going to listen to when you want to be uplifted. You're not going to go, I've had a really bad day at work. What I'll do is listen to 10. But if you're in the mood for it, it's got some good songs on it. It's got some good songs. But Jeremy, it was quite a controversial music video because MTV cut the scene where he puts the gun in his mouth, obviously. Well, maybe not obviously. But then the net result of that was that everybody thought that the song was about a school shooting. And that happens every day in America. So it's kind of, that's okay. But someone committing suicide was a whole different ballgame. The podcast is about songs about tragedies, and someone blowing their head off in front of their classmates, I would suggest fits into that category. So Jeremy, Pearl Jam.
Okay.
Well, shall I stay on the same sort of subjects just while we're in that sort of mood?
Oh, I think I know what it will be then.
Do you?
This is one of mine, I think.
Okay.
What year?
1983.
Oh, it's not the one I was thinking of. Okay.
No, I didn't think it would, but I know which one. I know which one you're talking about. But
I've already got on my list of the one that I think you're going to choose, which presumably at some point you'll mention.
So this is 1983, and this is a song about 3 different deaths. You know what this is, Colin. The first death is a rhythm and blues hero, for want of a better word, who, during a game of Russian roulette, blew his head off in 1954.
That rings a bell. That rings a bell.
Okay. It goes on then through to the death of JFK, and it goes on then through to the death of John Lennon.
Okay. So, no. No, for some reason I was thinking Abraham, Martin, and John, but that's not the right one, is it?
Okay, so this is
absolutely no idea.
The late great Johnny Ace by Paul Simon, of
yes,
Hearts and Bones.
yes.
We spoke about it last week.
Yeah.
And when you mentioned it, when you said it, I thought, oh, okay, yeah, we spoke about that last week. It's a Paul Simon song, of Hearts and Bones, which apparently is worth being in the 1001
albums you should hear.
should listen to. I'm happy with that. I like it. It's the last one on the album. And actually, some of the lyrics on it are really clever. Paul Simon's lyrics are always really clever. And once he sings it, Paul Simon was in London when JFK was shot. And he sings, it was the year of the Beatles, it was the year of the Stones, and all this sort of thing, you know. And then he goes on to talk about John Lennon being shot and the fact he was in New York and he went into this bar and sat with some random stranger and they just talked John Lennon for hours, you know. But it starts off with I heard today about the death of Johnny Ace. I wasn't really a fan, but I sent off all the stuff anyway. You know. And then there's this really weird bit of like an orchestral homage in the song as well, which is really lovely. But I'm not quite certain why he put it in, but he obviously felt it was necessary. So yeah, late great Johnny Ace, Paul Simon. 3 separate tragedies in one. 3 for the price of 1.
Indeed, yeah, indeed. Well, shall I just go for it now? Because obviously you both think I'm going to have this one, and we could be short and sweet. But I'm going for the Boomtown Rats. I don't like Mondays.
You are.
You are indeed. I didn't choose it because I thought that's nailed on for Mr. Right.
Definitely.
I didn't choose it for the same reason.
Yeah. About the shooting, obviously, ironically called Cleveland Elementary School in San Diego. A 16-year-old Brenda Ann Spencer, who fired from her bedroom window at children in the school playground on the 29th of January in 1979. This single came out in July 1979 and was their second #1 single, killing 2 adults, by the way, and injuring 8 children and 1 police officer. She showed no remorse whatsoever when asked why on earth she would have done it. She said,
I don't like Mondays.
I don't like Mondays, and this livens up my day, she said. I don't think we need to say more about that.
I don't in any way, shape or form condone her actions, but I do have a certain sympathy for how she feels about Mondays, because I don't like them very much either.
True.
You know, I mean,
there
if you had
ways,
to choose...
There are ways and means.
There are ways of
dealing
with it.
What they say, rainy days and Mondays always make me sad.
I mean, you could deal with it with alcohol or something.
Tuesday's worse than Mondays, though, really. Mondays, you've still got a bit of a hangover from the weekend. Wednesdays, we're halfway there. Thursday was nearly the weekend. Friday, yeah, definitely the weekend. Tuesdays is, is it Seinfeld episode? Oh, God, I'm going all Jeff Stritch. He used to talk about that all the time. I think there was an episode where they had Tuesday is a day with no feel.
With no feel? Okay.
Yeah.
Tuesday's Gone with the Wind.
No, don't talk about winds, not with you.
No, I'll talk about Leonard Skinner. Right, okay, my turn. So, this is a song which was originally a country blues song recorded in 1929 by Memphis Minnie and Kansas Joe McCoy. However, the much more famous version of it is from the 1971 Led Zeppelin 4 album, When the Levee Breaks, and that is about the Great Mississippi Flood of 1927, which killed around about 1,000 people and displaced hundreds of thousands of people, disproportionately affecting blacks, and accelerated what was called the Great Migration. So I give you When the Levee Breaks, the most sampled drum track in music history.
Really?
Okay.
Yes.
I did not know that. Okay. Shall I carry on?
Yeah, carry on. We've only got
Okay,
about
I'm
20
gonna
minutes
say-
or so.
I'll carry on my wayward son. I'm
Oh,
going to
okay.
suggest that this is the most tragic, deliberate event.
Most tragic,
Was
deliberate.
this recording of Nevermind the Bollocks?
Hey! See what you did there?
Boom.
This is synth pop at its best.
Well,
Record
that's a
Mirror
pretty
describes it as
tragic
infinitely danceable, joyous, and jumpy, whilst noting the uneasy juxtaposition, repeat word,
Good word.
between musical content and somber lyric. We've got your message on the radio, conditions normal, and you're coming home. Is mother proud of little boy today?
Nope. Doesn't do anything.
UK number 8 in 1980. Little Boy was the name of the first nuclear bomb.
Oh, yes, it was.
This is Enola Gay
Enola
by
Gay.
OMD.
OMD, yeah.
Of
course.
Good shout.
It was a good shout.
Very good shout. Yeah. Wouldn't have thought of that at all, but that's a good one.
So I can't think of a more tragic thing than that we've done ourselves. You know, like a deliberate sort of a deliberate thing to kill as many people as possible.
It did end the war, though.
I'd go with that. He did end the war.
Well, yeah, it did end the war, but like, you know,
There are
ways and means and all that.
Ways and means again.
Yes.
Yeah, ways and means.
like,
Yes. That's a
it's
hell
a
of a
bit like
number.
saying, well, that meteorite did end the dinosaurs, didn't it? You know.
But they had it coming.
All right, Enola Gay.
Carl, what do you got?
Enola Gay was I think the name of the.
It was the name of the
pilot's mum.
Yes,
Enola Gay was the
the
name of the pilot's mum. Yes.
Yeah. That had inscrawled on the side Enola Gay.
Yes.
OMD. All right. I'm going 1974 and a track from their third album. My favourite album of theirs. I've said this before, fairly recently actually. The album's On the Border.
That's the Eagles.
That's the Eagles.
Sorry,
do we know
clear?
which track it was?
It's not. It's Eagles.
It's Eagles rather than the Eagles. True.
Oh.
Well, actually, there are two tracks on it. That
Okay, the Ukraine.
Yeah. Oh, don't say the Ukraine. He'll get very upset. It's My Man, which is a Bernie Leadon's tribute to Graham Parsons, who died of a drug overdose in September 1973, the year before. Both Bernie Leadon and Graham Parsons were members of the pioneering country rock band, the Flying Burrito Brothers. And in the lyrics, Bernie Leadon specifically mentions one of Graham Parsons' top songs, which is on the Byrds' Sweetheart of the Rodeo album, which I think is the only album that Graham Parsons was on, but it certainly affected the way the Byrds went on to perform their sort of more country sound. The song was called Hickory Wind, and the song My Man includes the line, like a flower, he bloomed till that old hickory wind called him home. Good album, good song. Now, the other one actually was also a tribute. I'm going to mention it briefly here. Glenn Frey's tribute to Graham Parsons and Danny Whitten in Crazy Horse. And as Glenn Frey said, this song describes, it's a song like, it's another of those songs with a running commentary on the perils of the music business and the lifestyle that often comes with it. And that's Good Day in Hell, that one. And My Man was the one I was choosing, but I'm also throwing that one in, Good Day in Hell. Right.
Well, I've got my last one, and then I've got a kind of an after event one. So my last one, very easy. We've talked about it loads of times before. 1975 single, Bob Dylan, Hurricane.
Hurricane.
Big tragedy, the imprisonment of Reuben Carter, racism, racial profiling, a flawed trial, a murder conviction, everything that was wrong with the American justice system, and let's be honest, still is. It's, in my opinion, one of Dylan's finest moments, if not his finest moment. And it's a good standalone single on the first side, or if you want your full 8 minutes and 33 seconds, you can have both sides, which obviously I would. But yeah.
When was
good,
this? When
good
was
track.
the event? Actually, as a matter of interest, do we know? What
60s.
It was in the 60s. Okay. Why didn't they just drop a B-29 Liberator, drop a bomb on it or something? Some of that would have sorted it out, wouldn't it? That would
I mean, it would have ended the war, wouldn't it?
We would have ended the war, right? Okay. Hurricane. Yeah, I knew you'd have Hurricane in there.
Well, I've talked about it so many times.
I've got 3 left.
Go on then. Let's be quick.
Okay. But they're all a little not quite right. So I'm going to go with this one, which is completely not quite right, but I love the story and I wanted time to tell the story. So, this is a story of, and it goes with something you were saying a little bit earlier, Colin, you'll recognise the names. This is the story about Rose Dunn, who at 15 became the lover and accomplice of the outlaw George Bitter Creek Newcomb.
Okay.
Who was originally part of Bill Dalton's gang. But he was a bit wild for Bill Dalton. So he left Bill Dalton and joined Bill Dooling's Wild Bunch. Hence, Bitter Creek, Dooling Dalton's, da 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 da. Yep. Rosie's job, basically, as well as being with him, but as his lover, was when they all came back in various states of disrepair, her job was to patch all the outlaws up, make sure they were okay, and send them off again. Sadly, this is the tragic bit, which is not really tragic, because it's quite amusing in an untragic sort of way. Sadly, there was a bounty put on George Newcomb's head, which was collected outside Rosie's home by her brothers when they shot him. I don't know whether that's funny.
Yeah, I love this story.
I don't know whether that's funny or tragic. The really tragic part is that as she got older, she married a politician. So, and lived until 1955, would you believe?
Yeah.
Wow.
Any idea what the song is? 1976.
Okay, well, it's not Dooling Dalton or Bitter Creek then.
It's not. Pete loves it. I know Pete loves it.
Oh, hang on. I'm gonna know what this is as soon as you say it.
Are you ready?
Or Scouts or something like that? No.
It is Rose of Cimarron.
Rose of Cimarron. Yeah, Poco.
There you go. I just love the story.
One of my faves, that one.
That's a great song.
I thought I could squeeze a bit of tragedy in there because I had it for like real life events. So I thought I could squeeze a bit of tragedy out of this if I try hard enough.
That's really good. I love that. That's excellent. Yeah. Top performance.
And a good song.
And I will choose it tomorrow.
Yeah, brilliant song. Brilliant.
All right. I was talking about Danny Whitten and the like. I was half thinking I could have had Neil and the Damage Done in there as well.
You could, yeah, definitely.
But I mean that's a possibility, wasn't it? But I'm going back to 9/11 again. I could choose probably 2 or 3 from Bruce Springsteen's album The Rising in 2002, which was a triumphant return for him. Won 2 Grammys, and he was compelled to write the album in the aftermath of 9/11. There was in fact someone in an adjacent car when he's in the car driving, must have been in an adjacent car, wound their window down after the events of 9/11, and a complete stranger, said to him, "We need you now." And off he went and wrote some songs. I mean, The Rising, the title track, not the one I've chosen, but The Rising, tells of a firefighter going up World Trade Center as survivors flee, and evokes the image of people's spirits rising up like angels with a dream of life. My City of Ruins was a song originally about Asbury Park, but took on new meaning after 9/11, performed in the telethon after the events as well, the live thing. Lonesome Day as well. But the one I'm going for is Empty Sky, which is a poignant song, captures. It's maybe a more simple song, but I do like simple songs. Captures the essence really of grief, loss, and longing, written in the wake again, of course, of 9/11. And the sort of metaphor is he wakes up in the morning. I think the first line is he wake up in the morning to an empty space where his wife once was. Um, and there's a profound emptiness he feels over the loss of a loved one, but also he woke up to an empty sky. So this could serve as a metaphor for the void left in his life, in the singer's life or the narrator's life, mirroring the physical emptiness of the New York City skyline. I mean, he sings about the blood on the streets, cries from the ground, evoking the violence and chaos of it all. And linking the personal grief to collective trauma. But there's a lot of songs on that album. It's a great album, but I like Empty Sky best, I think, and I've chosen it.
I think I might have to buy that because you've talked about the album a lot and said how good it is.
You're on, Geoff. No, you're not. You're on Stinks.
Right. Well, this is my kind of having a bit of a laugh with the topic. So I'm choosing as my final offering here a song by Chaz and Dave, and the song is "Hot Shot Tottenham," which was Chaz and Dave and the Tottenham Hotspur squad for the 1987 Cup final,
which they went on to
as
lose,
we know, was the first one that they lost to Coventry City. Now, what is the tragedy in that? Well, I'll tell you what the tragedy is. I was working in Atherstone at the time. Absolutely everybody at the TNT distribution centre wanted Coventry City to win. I was the only, even the Aston Villa fans, I was the only Spurs fan. And what made it worse was that the tracksuits that Coventry wore on the day were sponsored by TNT. So I was stabbed in the back by Gary Mabbott's arse, Keith Houchin, and my employer.
And Clive Allen for not scoring that second goal.
Yes, yeah. And frankly, of all of the tragedies, that is right up there. So I give you Hot Shot Tottenham by Chaz and Dave.
Well, on a more serious note, of course, it was a tragic day for me because that's the day my mate died.
Yes, because your mate died. I know.
With his brain tumour. So not a great day.
Interestingly, the semi-final, which was against Watford at Villa Park, was the only match that my brother and I have been to together.
It was.
Really? 2-0, wasn't it?
Yes. No, 4-1.
Was it 4-1? Okay. Well, I was there. I just don't remember it. I don't remember
They had a lousy goalkeeper, and we scored 4. Anyway.
Okay.
There we go.
Geoff, can you
well, I don't feel quite so bad now. I've got 2 left. I'll run through them both quite quickly.
Just do them both quickly, yeah.
Right. I don't feel quite so bad with this because this is a little tongue in the cheek as well. I think this is a tragedy for a whole nation. Because if it were not for this nation would still be under our control and they would be much better for it.
Is this the French? This is a song about Agincourt.
No, this is the sensational Alex Harvey Band and it's Boston Tea Party.
Boston Tea Party. Nice one. Yes. Excellent.
Which obviously happened because some idiot put a tax on tea and they all started to rebel. And as Sir Alex of Harvey quite rightly says, it's the reason the Americans drink coffee. But if you've got time, there's a great YouTube video of it on Top of the Pops. They didn't do Top of the Pops, and he's just magnificent in it. He's growling away the way that Alex Harvey always did. Anyway, a bit of fun. 1976, the Boston Tea Party.
That's quite long, isn't it? Quite long, isn't it? That one, is it quite? It sort of chugs along, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't think it's that long.
It's
probably 4 minutes or so, I'd have thought.
All right, go on then. What's your last one?
Well, the very last one, I'm not certain, and they're not certain whether this is true or not. Okay? So this is the story of a train driver who, in 1900, rather than bailing like the fireman had done, stayed on his train, slowed it down to 40 miles an hour, and was crushed beneath it.
Casey Jones.
When it ploughed into the train ahead. Now, this is the ballad of Casey Jones by the Grateful Dead, with the corking line that says, driving a train high on cocaine, which clearly he wasn't, but they clearly were.
Poetic license. Poetic license, Ben.
I really like the song. I've always liked the song.
Which album is that on then?
I've got no idea. It's on the Greatest Hits. I've got Greatest Hits. Thought I'd just let you know. I don't know what album it's on.
I don't even know whether Stinks has got a Greatest Hits. Grateful Dead.
I have.
You have?
I have. It's a double album of stuff that all sounds the same.
Oh, right, okay.
I like the Grateful Dead. I think Jerry Garcia is a brilliant guitarist. And
I like the Grateful Dead.
I like that chucking sort of...
Yeah, but it's just one of those albums where you kind of go, haven't I already heard this? And you go, oh, no, I haven't. It's a bit different. But I like it.
I remember. Do you remember watching the TV show Casey Jones?
Yeah, Casey Jones, steaming out the rolling.
Casey Jones, great song.
You never have to guess when you hear the tooting of the whistle. It's Casey at the throttle of the Cannonball Express.
Cannonball Express. Yes, indeed.
Lovely stuff. Right, quickly, my last one here. Then I'll give you this. This is, you mentioned John Lennon earlier on. This is a tribute to his passing by one of his mates in May 1982, Elton John, from his Jump Up album, UK 51, US number 13. Not a massive hit then, but it was a tribute to him, who had been murdered 15 months earlier. Lennon had appeared on live appearances. He appeared live with Elton at Madison Square Gardens, of course, in New York. And the song Empty Garden, Hey Hey Johnny, refers to the empty venue. The garden metaphor representing John Lennon's efforts, achievements, and absence generated. And some of the words by Bernie Taupin, of course. The refrain at the end. I can't. Can you come out? Can you come out to play? Sorry, which references Dear Prudence from the White Album. The opening line, what happened here as a New York sunset disappeared, and of course the classic line. It's funny how one insect can damage so much grain. Empty Garden. I've got a Led Zeppelin one here. I thought you might have had actually, Stinks. More a personal tragedy from In Through the Outdoor, which I do love this song actually. Robert Plant's son. It was a tribute to him. I forget his name now. Karak. That's like a chocolate bar to me.
Yeah.
Who died the previous year. Yes. All of my love to you, child. Yours is the cloth, mine is the hand.
Yeah, All of My Love's a beautiful song.
Yeah, I love that.
I thought you might have Candle in the Wind, Colin, for some reason.
Good shout. Didn't even think of it.
It's a good shout. Yeah, didn't think about it.
It is a tribute to the tragedy of Marilyn Monroe. Yeah. And I think that's all. One really up-tempo, jolly song, I was surprised, had sort of a darker meaning, was Dancing in the Moonlight. You mentioned it yesterday when I played it. Was it this morning?
Yeah.
Dancing in the Moonlight by Top Loader.
Top Loader, yeah. What's that about
2000. Well, it's written by a guy called Sherman Kelly and was recorded by his band called Boffalongo in 1990. A well-known band, obviously. King Harvest had a top 13 hit, in 1972 in the States. It was written in 69, whilst he was recovering from a vicious assault by a gang in Saint Croix. Saint Croix? Croix.
Yeah, Saint Croix.
And he was inspired and envisioned. Is it envisioned or is it envisaged? Probably envisioned in this case. An alternate reality, the dream of peaceful and joyful celebration of life. So everybody here is out of sight. They don't bark, they don't bite. They keep things loose, they keep things tight. Everybody was dancing in the moonlight. We like our fun and we never fight. You can't dance and stay uptight. It's such a fine and natural sight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight.
Great.
And of course, we could have had tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree, couldn't we?
We could, but that's a tragedy in itself for Stinks. He can't stand
it. Even the idea of tying a yellow ribbon around a bloody oak tree is fairly tragic. But anyway.
I think that's probably it. There were a few others that were thrown up, which I don't think we need to go on about them all, though. So, yeah, I think we've covered a load. Some good ones there. Some unexpected ones. Some forgotten ones. Some of which may be shown or played tomorrow on the show or Friday, when or wherever you two are about over the next day or so. But yeah, hopefully you'll hear some of these songs. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much, Stinks. Thank you very much, Jazzy Geoff, as usual, for your company and entertainment. And all I have left to say is, after this podcast will be posted to the usual places over the coming days, Spotify being the main one, when Shaggy can do it. He had a lot of work to do on last week's one with all the coughing and the... so I much appreciated all the efforts. And my quietness, if there's such a word, there is now. All I've got left to say is it's a good night from me.
It's a good night from him.
And it's a good night from them.